Howdy. So we are at the final quarter moon. That means we are at the end of this cycle. So this will be the fourth and final reading for this cycle. And then we'll have a week before the new moon and the new beginning. I'm using some different cards today. It's kind of cool. They match my little tarot blanket here. Yeah, my usual cards went missing. Dun, dun, dun. But there's a reason for everything, as I'm sure you know. These are nice and mini, so they work well with my little hands. I'm enjoying the soft feeling of them, these fresh cards. So this reading for the final quarter for the collective consciousness, which also is for the individual, because as the individual, so the collective. As within, so without. As one, so with all. This reading will be about what have we just integrated since the full moon to now? What processing have we done? And what will the next week bring to prepare us for the new beginning and the new cycle? So if you have any questions or thoughts or hopes or fears, bring them up, acknowledge them. And then when you're ready, let them go so that you can create a space for the answers to come in. A space for higher wisdom to come in that is outside of space and time, outside of the ego mind. Okay, so whatever thoughts have been on your mind, acknowledge them and then let them go, create a space. And then when you're ready, go ahead and connect to the deck, however you desire. Imagination is key. There's no wrong way. Okay, so when you feel ready, create a space and then connect to the deck. What is this deck? This deck holds the keys, the archetypal keys. They are the faces of the one, the archetypes of the one. So as we pull the cards, they will reveal to us in a specific order what we are wanting or needing to know right now as we complete a cycle and prepare to begin a new one. So when you're ready, go ahead. What are we completing and leaving behind? What's a little foreshadowing of the future, which will be the new moon? What is the bridge between then and now? And what's our ally? Four of Swords, a perfect card to start off this final quarter reading. This is what it looks like. Four is about completion. Swords is the mind, it's air. The Four of Swords is actually the card of rest and integration. So this is the card I pulled for what are we completing and leaving behind. Perfect. Four. Perfect. The fourth reading, we get the very first card is a Four of Swords. And so it's all about resting. So you see he kind of looks like he's dead, of course. And then at the top, there's this image of hope and liveliness. And so it's about not an actual death necessarily, but about allowing the old process to die, about integrating and really letting everything that we learned sink in so that we can be born anew for the next cycle. So this is what we're completing, and this is pretty self-explanatory if you ask me. We are finishing up our integration process. Boom. On to the future, the King of Pentacles. And Pentacles is the suit of earth and the physical plane. The King is the mature aspect of the suit of Pentacles. So you can see he's sitting on his throne, he has the pentacle in his hand, and he's super abundant. So it looks like we're going to be moving on toward a future. The next cycle is going to be about abundance and mastering, manifesting a reality and reflection of what abundance truly looks like to us in our imagination or in the mind's eye. It looks like we're going to have opportunities to manifest abundance. That we're going to take control of the abundance that we always have the ability to manifest, but it's up to us. And I'm sure the bridge is going to give us more information about how we're going to move from here to here. And let's flip it up. Woo! Perfect bridge card. 2. It's the second card of the entire deck. It's a major arcana card. It's Sedona's favorite, High Priestess. So she is the bridge between the integration right now and then moving toward the future of our fullest abundance as the King of Pentacles. The High Priestess is all about balance and bringing, through mastery of the subconscious, bringing what is in the darkness of the subconscious into the light of the conscious realm. So right now, everything that we've been integrating from this last cycle, if we really sit with that and do the work, we will really get a hold, just like she has her foot on the moon, we'll get a hold of our subconscious, dig really deep to decide what is abundance for me. What do I believe is the vision of true abundance for me, for my reality, because we're all different. It's about you and your imagination. What is your vision of true abundance for you and for all of those around you? Right now is a time for digging deep into our subconscious and seeing how perhaps in the past a vision that we held for what our abundance really looked like doesn't apply anymore. And that's okay. It's more than okay. It's perfect. Because it should always be shifting with us. Our dream, our visions should always be shifting with us because we're constantly growing. And if we're resisting that, we're still growing. We're just struggling through it a little more when we don't accept it. So what parts of you have shifted recently, in the recent past? What parts of you have shifted, contributing to a new vision of what abundance looks like for you? And as we get in touch with that inner realm and really paint a new picture of what our true happiness and abundance looks like on this physical plane, then we will cross this bridge and bring all of that envisioning, all of these subconscious dreams that we have into the light, manifesting it in the physical realm as the mature aspect, the king of the suit of pentacles. We will be the king of our physical reality only when we get in touch with our inner high priestess. We can only manifest abundance in its fullest, of course, according to our own vision of it, when we are clear on the inside. Whatever we see on the outside is a reflection of the inside. So if we are not 100% clear on what our vision of abundance looks like, how can we manifest that? How can we manifest that? It's very simple. The deeper we go inside, the more our reality will reflect the clarity we have on who we are in there. Okay, let's pull the ally card. Above all three of these cards is, boom, the Six of Wands. Whew. The Six of Wands is the card of victory. And wands are fire. It's the suit of fire, spirit. So if you can see closely, let's see. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but this guy here looks like he's got another plan. It looks like he's jealous of this individual's victory. And what that's really representing is make sure that whatever our victories are, whatever we're aiming for, whatever our vision of victory is, that it's based on a sustainable vision. That the path to get to it is virtuous. Because if it's not, whatever corners we cut, it will catch up to us. And something, maybe someone, doesn't matter, something, someone, it's all connected, will hinder the path in the future. You may not see it now and you may feel successful now, but if you didn't take virtuous steps to get to that manifestation of your success, something, no matter how small or how big, doesn't matter, size is irrelevant, something will get in the way. Don't cut corners. And so while this is the ally card, it's right above the bridge, the challenge and gift right now, saying don't just skip ahead. Really dig deep. Don't lie to yourself. All of this victory and abundance, all of these visions we have of our abundance and our victory, remember that what we once thought was an image of victory or an image of abundance might have changed. And we better really, even if we think, no, my vision is righteous, we better really dig deep and know ourselves and remember that this whole process is for not just a temporary victory, but a victory of the soul, fire, spirit, wands. Is that victory going to go with us into the next life and the life after that? How is it benefiting the highest good of the one? Because if it's not at that level, we may have to level up to get there right now. To remember that all of this is for victory of the soul, the one soul that we share as a collective. So really, it's a time to reevaluate. Dig deep. Don't cut corners. Remember that there is no time. It's up to us. Quality over quantity. Really face ourselves and ask, what has my vision of abundance and victory and success really been? And how much does that vision contribute to the highest good of the one of which I am and everyone is a part? And the more we refine our vision right here, right now, the bigger the quantum leap. Because time and space is irrelevant when considering the victory of the soul, the one soul. So how can we right here, right now, level up with our vision of abundance and success and victory? How can we make sure that we are reaching our fullest potential in carrying that vision into manifestation for all of us as a collective unit? The success will feel so good. And the foundation will be so strong. Victory will be sustainable and will bring the most abundance when we consider raising our vision, leveling up our dream to make sure that it is truly a service in consideration of the one. Okay, I feel called to pull one more card. So while we have the King of Pentacles as the future, I'm just going to pull one more card for that new moon coming up. Tell us one way, please, thank you, archetypes and faces of the one. Thank you for showing us the one archetype that wants to be embodied immediately to take the first step this week, moving toward the new moon, so that we can maximize our potential, knowing that each step we take thereafter will be guided by this one here now that we pull. This is the one. Woo! Two of Pentacles. So it's awesome. So I asked for another card about the future. This is the future Pentacles. So same suit. So this is the archetype that wants to be embodied right now as we move toward the King of Pentacles. And this is the card of, I like to call it the card of in-between worlds. It's also the card of balance. So again, it's Pentacles, it's the physical realm, it's the earth realm. I like to call this in-between worlds because, and it's perfect for where we're at because we just ended a cycle and we're moving on to the new moon. So it's the final quarter and then a week till we have the new moon. So we are very much in between worlds. Of course, this is the perfect card for this. And I'm so glad it was the Two of Pentacles foreshadowing this as the future. So it's saying, we're still going to be a little bit in this last cycle, but all that's around us is a result of a past thought. Nothing here is solid. So as we seem to still be in that old world, we're in it, but we're not of it. We're already into the future. When we close our eyes and look with our eye, we're already in the future. So yes, we're kind of going to be standing on an old platform with one foot while we're stepping into the new with the other. So balance is key. Don't just drop things. Don't just drop it all and move on to the new and run toward your new vision. Work with what you've got to get to where you want to be. Alchemy. This is true alchemy. So whatever vision you have, or whatever vision you come to now as your new vision of true success and abundance, right, and victory, whatever that vision is, right? Because we're leveling up our vision to make sure it's the best vision for the highest good of the one, to ensure that that victory is going to be sustained. Whatever that vision is, remember, we don't have to just drop the old vision. We can use whatever we've manifested thus far and fuel the new fire with that. Everything is material to be used for the future. So rather than just abruptly dropping everything, how can we consider balancing what we've got going on and more harmoniously moving into the new? It's like with Tai Chi, right? Or Qigong, and you learn not to resist, but to flow with, and then use that very power to create what you want to create, to do what you want to do. It's like somebody punches you and you roll with that and you use that energy to push it right back, right? It's a dance. That's kind of what he's doing now. It's a dance of balance. So how can we use what we've got going on right now and not regret? Because that never does anything good for us. Thoughts of regret, what will that manifest if we're having thoughts of regret? This is not productive. So how can we move toward that new vision, knowing that all that we've created thus far is definitely still useful? Everything has a purpose. There are no mistakes. Everything is material to be used for the future. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be recycled. So how can we as master alchemists accept that all we've done and created thus far is perfect and in divine order? And how can we take it and transform it to work in service of our newer, higher, leveled up vision of success and abundance and victory for one and all? Anything that we've been doing so far that is not virtuous, how can we learn from it and begin to walk on that virtuous path to ensure that that success we're moving toward and that abundance we're moving toward will be sustained, not just for ourselves, but for those around us? So right now, it's a balancing act. Remember, we're in between the last cycle and the new one. We're in between. Something that keeps coming to mind and kept coming up for individual readings I've been doing all week, have been really about this card being in between worlds and remembering that we're not stuck. And now when you realize, that moment you realize, oh, it's time to envision the future, you got to know that it is the perfect moment. You didn't realize it sooner and you're realizing it now because it is in divine order. When you have that realization, it's at that moment for a reason in space and time. It's not like, oh, it's 5 p.m. I was meant to have it at 5 p.m. No, it's like in this space, in time, you're meant to have that realization. So remember, you're always on time. You're always on time. So right now, be inspired. Know that you're in between worlds. Take this this period of time before the new moon to really get clear with your subconscious and your vision of true abundance for one and all, so that when we do fully step into the new moon and the new cycle, we can leave this balancing act behind and be fully present in that new. Get creative, have fun. We've already processed what we needed to for the last cycle. That was the card of integration, the very first card. Perfect. And now it's time to play. And know we're in between worlds and know that's exactly where we are meant to be. Have fun. It's up to you. What do you wish to see in the future? Whew. Happy final quarter moon, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you're not already, make sure you subscribe to Rebecca Magic on YouTube. You just go to youtube.com/Rebecca Magic with a CK at the end, of course. And when you subscribe, you will get notifications when I upload videos like this. Feel free to watch again. If you missed the full moon video, that is up there. I'll see you for the next reading, which will be very exciting because it'll be the new moon. It will be the initiation activation, a new beginning for one and all. Thanks again. Shalom.